somewhere deep in the mountains of West Java, there's a village you've probably never heard of. Generation after generation, they follow the ways of their ancestors. Here, traditions are kept alive through everyday life. Rice isn't just food, it's sacred. And this community has preserved enough rice to feed themselves for 95 years. Animals, humans and nature live side by side in harmony. But getting there is an adventure in itself. So I came here to experience a simpler way of life, far from the noise of the modern world. This is Gelar Alam.
Selamat pagi, guys. Hey, it's another beautiful morning in Indonesia. It's actually a cloudy morning in Indonesia. It is 7:15 and we are on our way to our next destination, a place called Gelar. So it's been so great with a couple of days just to relax and unwind. We went to the beach and just had a ton of good food, a lot of naps. So yeah, we're trying to find the balance of how it works best for us to be on these kind of shoots as a group. Anyway, really excited about today. We won't be driving much more than 4 hours or so because we are starting here from Pelabuhan Ratu. However, in order to get to our destination for the day, I've heard that the road might get a little bit rough. Actually, we might have a full hour, an hour and a half in full off-road. And it has been raining a little bit the last couple of days, so it could get muddy, it could get extremely slippery. Good thing is today I actually have my team with me in case I fall, in case something happens, so I'm not all alone. But yeah, wish me luck. Let's get the day started and let's go to Gelar. Yes! Oh yeah, it is a beautiful morning and look at the river. Wow! It's gonna be a good day. Oh yeah, let's get some gasoline dulu. Pertamax ada, mantap.
I made a quick stop at Pertamina to refuel, and there I met the local attendant, Ujang. He's worked here for 3 years, and he told me he really likes working here because his family lives close by, so he can come home to them every day. He was super professional and even reminded me to use my My Pertamina application as they had a promo for extra points. Thank you so much, Ujang.
Oh yeah. Okay, back on the road. Let's go, team. As Matthew McConaughey would say, all right. We are now gassed up. We are ready to go up into the hills. We got roughly 45 minutes, 20 kilometers on tarmac left. Then we have to register to go the last part of our journey into the mountains. And then it's off-road time. So let's go. I've gotten quite a lot of questions lately, like, Chris, what is this fifth group that is your sponsor? And I'm sorry I haven't explained it good enough. But basically, fifth groups provide the service of lending money to people who want to buy a motorcycle. If you cannot afford a motorcycle to pay it in cash, then through fifth group you can borrow. Whether you want to buy a Scoopy or a CBX 500 or you want to buy an African Twin, you can borrow through fifth group. And people might say materialistic things doesn't bring you happiness, but that is utter bullshit. I freaking love Garuda. Oh, this motorcycle brings me happiness every day. Here we go, guys. Kesatuan Adat Banten. I do hope that it's not a road this small that we'll be continuing on for the next hour. Hopefully we can still get back on the main road for a bit. Let's see. Ujung sumping ke sepuhan sinar resmi. I bet that sounded so stupid. Wow, look at these views. Rice fields. And apparently these small houses, it's not actually a house, this is grain storage, and supposedly each family can have like 5 to 10. So all of these hills are apparently full of these small rice storage houses. There should be thousands in these hills. Oh, I think this is where we register. So, luckily I've brought my assistant Rika on this trip. She's also my trip planner, and she says we don't have to register. We have already shared our details. So from here we can just go directly, and she said, Chris, from here it's gonna be really bad roads. So what I will do to make sure that I'm safe when I'm going on these bad roads is that I'm gonna actually take some of the air out of my tires. I'm gonna lower them from, I think right now they are 35. I'm gonna lower them to 25, but I cannot lower them too much because my tires are actually not tubeless. They have tubes inside, so if I lower them too much, I risk actually puncturing my tubes. I think that's pretty much it. Wish me luck, and let's go.
I thought I was well prepared, but I had no idea how challenging this would be, especially for the car. And it didn't take long before we realized just that.
Oh, easy when you ride an Africa Twin. Easy.
Yeah, we are stuck.
Mantap. God damn it. I just wanted to rest and then I dropped the bike. So what I do now, I make sure that it cannot move backwards, and then luckily I'm f***ing strong. Woo! All good. I was just laughing at the guys for being stuck. And then I tipped over. That was fast. Rice fields everywhere. Oh, this is getting steep. Oh, this is gonna be tough for the car. Whoa. Guys, you're about to get to a hill where you definitely have to keep some speed, because you will be going up the hill and then it'll be turning and then it'll be steep again. So Ega has to give it some gas. Oh yeah, Garuda, you handling this so good, and I cannot sing for shit. Oh, this is gonna be fun for the car as well. Oh, traction control is messing me up. There we go, no traction control. For the traction control. Traction control is making some weird stuff, and if suddenly the traction control sets in when I'm going up a steep hill, it's gonna f me up. Hoppa. Hoppa. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great for the car. Oh yeah. Gas. Oh, I'm gonna need to give it some gas here. Let's go, Garuda. You got it. Oh, traction control is f***ing me up. Don't give up. And this is what I talked about earlier. This f***ing traction control. Okay. I need to figure out what this is about. This could be really dangerous later. Shit. I just found out that you cannot completely turn off traction control on this model of the Honda Africa Twin. So, wish me luck. And it looks like we might get rain soon, so gotta push the speed a little bit. So, let's go.
The roads were only getting more and more steep. And while I thought I was struggling, the car was struggling even more. So I decided to wait for the car and pray we wouldn't get any rain.
A few moments later. This is the struggle. Oh, Lord, give me strength and courage and everything in between. Oh, yeah. No, not that way. Oh, this is like a full body workout. So slippery. Oh, my voice went kind of high there. I mean, slippery. I'm realizing that all these promises I'm making to my family and friends about staying safe when I go out on a trip, it's utter because I cannot promise that. I keep putting myself in situations that could potentially be dangerous. So I'm gonna have to come up with something different to say. Like, I will try my best. Oh, lapar. Ah! Oh, lost control there for a sec. Oh. My Delor is getting a serious beating today. Oh, it's so difficult. I'm just sliding everywhere. And now I have to go really steep and I cannot brake. If I brake too much, the bike just skids. Everything is slippery. Oh, the bike is so heavy. Okay. Oh, can't barely keep my footing. Okay, what do I do here? So steep. Left side, right side. Oh, if I fall here, it's gonna hurt so bad. Wish me luck. Cannot get too close to the edge either. This is it. This is it. Oh, I was for sure I would fall. Me, that was scary. Oh, I might just have shat myself just a tiny bit. I can feel the stones. They're as slippery as stepping on coral. Me, and the car is coming behind me, so I have to move. Otherwise, I risk it slipping into me. Oh, that sounds naughty. Gas! Woo! Oh. Slipping into me. Nothing. Oh, this is stress level Ceratus.
The hours were flying by fast, and the road only seemed to get worse and worse the higher up the mountain we went. And I was starting to wonder if the car would even be able to make it. I had run out of water and food, but I eventually passed a tiny village where I could buy some snacks. I wasn't sure how much further I had, because everyone I asked all said the same thing.
Sebentar lagi. Lumayan, sebentar lagi. Okay, all I needed to know. Terima kasih ya. Mari.
I was wondering if we would even be able to reach this place before nighttime. But luckily, after 5 hours of challenging mountain roads, we had made it.
I see it! I have made it to Gelar Alam. Oh, I recognize it from the photos. Woohoo! Great success, as my friend Borat would say. Oh, time to get rid of the poo in my pants.
We were now deep in the mountains of West Java, and we had found the small farming village called Gelar Alam. A total of 107 houses, and it means living in harmony with nature. But as you can't exactly just book a stay here online, we first had to figure out if we were allowed to stay. So I sat down with Kang Yoyo. Kang means brother or sir, in the local language Sundanese. He first taught me how to properly greet him and his community. And he then said their public guest rooms were full, but he would try and find a solution for us. So in the meantime, we had a look around their community building called Imagede. There I was also introduced to Kang Yoyo's lovely wife, Ibu Umi. And I was happily surprised to hear they wanted to offer us to stay with them in their house.
This reminds me so much of when I lived with the Dayakiban in Kalimantan. So many people all doing activities together, preparing the foods in the biggest kitchen I've ever seen. We have open fire here. It's a little bit speechless right now.
It turns out all those rice storages we saw along the way can be used to store their rice for many years. So to start our stay, Kang Yoyo recommended I first tried their rice.
Rice that is more than 20 years old. It almost looks like nasi goreng because it's already a bit yellow, but actually it's just because it's very, very, very old. Jeez, they harvested this rice when I was still in. Jeez, what was I like? Yeah, 12 years old. The taste is really good. It's been standing here for a couple of hours, I think, so it's cold and a little bit chewy. But I don't think that's because it's old. I think it's because it's been standing here outside. Now I kind of want to try some new rice as a comparison, but we can do that later.
And we then went down to check out our homestay.
I did not expect to see a house like this. This is honestly, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, it feels like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm kind of getting the vibes of like a Bali villa, but in a small, secluded village. We have books everywhere, and it's so bright. There's windows everywhere. We have the view over the rice fields. It's so open. It's cold because we're up in the mountains. It's happy. It's gonna be some good days. I feel it.
Kang Yoyo and I then sat down for a fireside chat. And here, the best way to do that is with coffee and a lot of smoke.
So, Kang Yoyo, you say that smoking is a part of life, yeah?
Yeah, the symbol of life is smoke.
So that's why people really like smoking here.
Because also smoking is healthy for us,
Smoking is healthy for you.
right? Is there anyone killed by smoking?
I would say yes, but I think you will say no. Because can get various diseases from
Someone
smoking,
dead
right?
because of the time, not because of the smoking.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it is talking about time and timing. If we are talking about smoking, in our tradition, we have to bring tobacco. Because tobacco containing by nicotine. What is the good thing from nicotine? The good thing from nicotine is could make the heartbeat will be slow. That there is no idea. But someone will need smoke. And then after that, the heart beating will be normal. And the idea will come. And also someone who gets stressed, the heartbeat will be need to relax with smoke. Everybody could have different thoughts, different meaning about tobacco.
True, and different opinions about it, yeah. It's funny you mentioned before about stress, that nicotine can be good for stress. But when you say that, I was thinking, where do you find stress here? Because this life seems so relaxed.
What is the stress for?
Yeah. Do you sometimes feel stress in your life?
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. Mungkin because smoking a lot, yeah.
Nicotine in our body, we need caffeine
So you balance out if too much nicotine.
to neutralize the nicotine, which is caffeine. We need coffee.
That makes sense because coffee and smoke is a very good combo, yeah?
Yeah.
Good combination.
And if it is too much, also like caffeine and nicotine in our body, we need malanding.
What is malanding? Apa itu?
Petai Cina itu apa? Bahasa Inggrisnya?
It's like stinky bean.
Stinky, yeah.
Oh,
Like with the small one.
so
Yeah.
if you smoke too much, then you drink coffee to balance.
Yeah.
But if you smoke too much and drink too much coffee, you have to eat the stinky bean.
Yeah.
And what if you eat too many stinky bean?
We will need go to toilet.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's
Perfect,
to throw
sir.
out. All is to throw out, right?
Perfect circle of life. So you smoke, you drink coffee, you eat stinky bean, you go to the bathroom, and then you come back and smoke again.
Yeah.
That's the good life. Oh, perfect.
Kang Yoyo then officially welcomed me as a visitor of Gelar Alam by fitting me with an ikat. It must be worn by all men who lives in this village. And it's not just traditional clothing. It represents cultural respect, being part of a community, and connection to the teachings of the ancestors. I was almost ready to walk freely around Gelar Alam. But first, I had to have a sit down with their leaders, Abba and Mama, to introduce myself and briefly explain my purpose for visiting Gelar Alam. It's also customary to give an offering, so we presented a box of cigarettes and 500,000 rupiah, around $28. I was invited to speak with Abba in his private residence, where he luckily approved my wish to document their way of life. That night would be a full moon, a marker of changing times. So everyone was busy preparing the food for a small ritual. Abba had invited the heads of the nearby villages, and they would spend the night praying to the ancestors, eating together, and of course, smoke a lot. They also had a small wayang performance, a traditional Sundanese puppet show, where stories from the past are passed down through music, narration, and shadow puppetry. And it was then time to end the day, as Kang Yoyo had promised to share some of his ancestral knowledge with me early the following morning.
Kalau hari ini kasepuan namanya gelar alam, ini adalah proses di mana kasepuan menjalani proses ngalalakon. Ngelakoni artinya kita cuma manut terhadap perintah, menjalankan tugas yang harus jadi lakon kita, laku hidup kita. Maka ini adalah gelar alam, prosesi ngalalakon kasepuan yang ke-20. Dari sebelumnya namanya cipta gelar. Cipta gelar sebelumnya namanya cipta rasa, namanya linggar jati sebelumnya, namanya sirna rasa sebelumnya, sebelumnya lagi namanya sirna resmi dan sebagainya. Gitu. Paling tidak versi saya, gelar alam adalah di mana kita memang punya tugas dari leluhur untuk menggelarkan tatanan alam itu sendiri. Yang seperti apa tatanan alam? Kalau bicara misalnya bangunan, rumah, dan kehidupan kita ini numpang hidup bersama dan di atas alamnya. Bahasanya gitu. Maka kita harus mengenali alam lebih baik. Kan kalau membangun itu disebutnya mendirikan rumah gitu. Maka kalau rumah itu ada bahasa ruangan umah. Umah itu adalah tubuh kita yang berdiri. Maka kemudian kita akan berdiri di atas tanah dan kemudian memiliki selangkangan. Selangkangan kalau di rumah itu kolong rumah. Yang kemudian ketika bumi hidup bergetar dan bergoyang, maka kemudian selangkangan ini adalah fungsinya untuk menstabilisasi. Sehingga rumah panggung ini lebih dikatakan rumah tahan gempa. Dan kemudian membuat bangunan itu ada struktur bangun di atas. Di bawah batu karena tempatnya. Di atasnya ada bangunan, kemudian yang paling atas adalah atap. Atapnya terbuat dari daun-daunan. Tanah di bawah, batu di bawah, pasir di bawah yang tidak boleh dinaikkan ke atas. Gitu. Karena melanggar tatanan harusnya di bawah. Dan posisi tertinggi di alam adalah daun-daunan. Kemudian katanya mendirikan rumah dan katanya rumah sebagai tempat perlindungan. Tetapi pertanyaannya, kenapa pada lari pada saat gempa terjadi? Karena secara sadar dan tidak sadar rumahnya telah mengancam kehidupannya. Disadari, tetapi tidak sadar dengan penggunaan bahan-bahan yang harusnya ditempatkan seperti struktur bangun di alam.
So here in the morning, most of the men, they will go to the fields. But one of the activities of the women is, besides cooking, is to prepare rice flour. And they do this the same way as the ancestors did. They have these long, quite heavy wooden poles, and they stand 4 women around a small hole that's dug out of a massive piece of wood. And they do it with such precision and such speed. I think it is a lot more difficult than it looks. But let's find out. So difficult. I mean, of course, it's my first time trying it, but you really need precision because you need to hit exactly in the middle, otherwise the rice flour will go everywhere. That's a pretty decent workout. They do this 3 hours every single morning.
Rice has always been at the center of life here in Gelar Alam. And after it's been stomped, some of it is turned into fine rice flour, all done by hand. Across Indonesia, most rice processing today is industrialized and machine operated. But here, they still do it just like their ancestors did. And looking around Gelar Alam, it's hard not to wonder how much longer places like this will remain unchanged.
So we've come to the back of Kang Yoyo's house because he wanted to show us the leit, their rice stores. So he has 2 of these small leit, and actually it is tiny when you get up close. And he actually says that we can go inside. It looks like he can go inside. I'm not sure if I can go inside, but let's try and have a look. Saya bisa dulu?
Harus dicoba.
Harus dicoba dulu.
Harus dicoba bisa atau tidak.
Ternyata bisa. Wow. Oke.
Aman ya. Oke.
Bisa.
Leluhur kami memerintahkan untuk padi-padi hasil panen disimpan di lumbung padi untuk bekal esok hari. Maka kami menyimpannya di leit. Ini adalah isi leit. Ini ada padi-padi yang disimpan di atas berbeda dengan yang di bawah. Karena ini jenis padi yang berbeda. Ini lebih disebutnya padi ketan. yang kami tidak boleh mencampurkannya dengan padi biasa. Varietas padi itu di Kasepuhan sendiri ada 168 varietas. Itu versi dari hasil penelitian Profesor Kusnaka tahun 96. Dan kemudian kalau yang didisplay di dapur Imah Gede sekarang itu ada 154 varietas padi. Itu padi yang masih ditanam di Kasepuhan. Kita akan menyimpannya dengan sistem sisik naga, yaitu disimpan, dibuka, akan begitu. Tapi ini posisinya disebutnya terbalik. Yang ini terbalik karena kita baru saja disebutnya ngahudang. Dan yang ini akan disimpan seperti ini. Jadi tipis jadinya. Jadi kalau kami menyimpan padi di lumbung itu, sistemnya LIFO, last in, first out. Kenapa? Karena satu pintu. Ketika dimasukkan dan yang baru masuk, maka kemudian yang akan diambil yang paling atas untuk keluarnya. Last in, first out. Yang di bawah akan tetap di bawah. Semakin banyak padi yang kita simpan artinya semakin akan ketumpuk dan tidak cukup mudah untuk dikeluarkan. Dan padi yang semakin tua itu, semakin lama itu yang nampaknya leluhur telah mau memberikan pesan bahwasanya nanti rasa-rasa padi yang lama itu rasanya berbeda dengan padi-padi yang baru. Dan rasanya fantastik.
Fantastic ya.
Fantastik. Ini sebagai bukti bahwa di sini ada kehidupan. Yang hidup di lumbung adalah tikus. Kami tidak boleh membunuhnya karena dia sebagai petugas dan mereka mendapatkan hak untuk hidup, yaitu makan sekenyangnya sekeluarga di sini. Lumbung-lumbung yang kami simpan dengan stok pangan yang kami miliki ini terjaga sampai hari ini. Itu karena kita titipkan kepada sang penunggu lumbung, yaitu tikus namanya.
Kang Yoyo is like one of those grandfathers you can listen to for hours, who never runs out of stories. One of their rules is that they will never sell their rice, which made me wonder, why keep so much of it?
So, Kang Yoyo, I've heard that in these many leads, you actually have enough rice for 95 years. Is that true?
That's conversation talking about our rice stock. It was on 2017. At that time, Abah tried to account every harvest we got 40,000 tons of rice. We only allowed to plant once a year because rice is a life, giving us a life. Talking about life, is there mother who giving birth 2 times a year?
No.
No, only 1 time a year. So our respect to the Mother Earth, just enough 1 time a year for us, really enough. So we don't use any pesticide, but we still use fertilizer, of course, to stimulate the plant to grow even better. Kasepuhan right now in the time of showing the ancestral knowledge for people. So that's why we call Gelar Alam. Kita harus menggelarkan. Itu adalah misi dari Kasepuhan, menggelarkan tatanan leluhur. Menyimpan stok pangan buat setiap kita di lumbung-lumbung padi. Yang jumlahnya sekarang lebih dari 15.000 lumbung yang kita miliki. And why we have to keep this in the rice storages, like I said, we have to prepare for ourselves. Itu titipan dari leluhur yang kita jalani hari ini. Menjaga tatanan leluhur yang kita bagikan kepada saudara-saudara dimanapun yang mungkin ingin kembali ke tatanan leluhur.
When did you know that it was time to come home?
You know your feelings. When you will need it, you will come back home. And the time will telling you.
Somehow this moves me a little bit because I've been living abroad for 12 years and I'm always thinking, when will I go home to Denmark? My family always asking. but yeah, maybe one day I will know like you did.
Everybody will come back home to the ancestor, to the parent. We are here, come back home to the sepuh, to kasepuhan.
Oh, that one hit me different than I had expected. It was a good answer. Thank you, Kang. Thank you for your wisdom and for your friendship. Oh, wow. Oh, I did not expect to react like that. And if there's one thing that they really love here in Gelar Alam, it's animals. All dogs, all cats, they are everywhere. And it's so fun to see how the dogs and cats, they interact, they play with each other. It really reminded me what Kang Yoyo said, that everyone who lives here is a family. And if there's one thing I love as well, it's dogs. I mean, look at this one. Hi. Can you say hi to the camera? Hi.
Kang Yoyo had been gifted some grapes by a friend that he wanted to share with us. But here, even a simple gesture involves the ancestors. Using a small piece of aromatic bark as a bridge to the spiritual world, he communicated with his ancestors before we ate. And as I've never been very religious myself, I asked why he had to do this.
We live in two-side life balance, which is physically and also spirituality. The real and the unreal, but it's connected, right? And who's become me because I'm coming from the ancestor who already in somewhere, someplace in the spirituality. So it is like what we have to eat, but don't forget, because we alive because of them who now is already in the spirituality. Do you get it?
So, because you get this blessing, this gift from as a gift, you remember to also thank your ancestors because it's actually coming from them in the end. Okay.
If we taste it in our tongues, our body, which is also this feeling, this taste and these flavors, not only for us but also
our ancestors.
Yeah, okay. This will goes to our ancestor who made us. But do you know who this ancestor mean?
The meaning of ancestors?
Yeah. What people call God.
Like we talked about earlier.
Because talking about God, talking who creating life. We create because of God, right? We created by God.
And for you, the ancestors is your God.
Right. From the physical, but also from the spiritual, like Islamic people call Allah. That's spirituality. But the physicality, which is mother, father, coming from grandmother, grandfather, and the ancestor. That's the God from the real. Please enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. So what do we have here? Ini pisang maybe? Atau?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pisang
Yeah.
keju.
just try it.
Oh, boleh. Pisang sama keju?
Yep.
Whoa. Interesting mix. I never tried this pisang sama keju fried.
Begitu enak.
Ini yang ibu masak tadi atau
Yeah, a different version.
different version?
Bagaimana rasanya?
Enak. Karena agak asin sama manis, so it's a good balance.
Ya. Bagaimana rasa makanan di sini?
All the flavors.
Yeah, I mean
Food.
all the
Not
food
only
here.
but
All the food here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's why I'm afraid if I stay long, I will get very. But but we talk about this because
people here are actually not overweight. And maybe, like we talk about, maybe it's the rice. Maybe it's the daily activities. There's a lot of physical work as well. Yeah. But I would have a difficult time holding myself back because this is very good.
Di sini makanan itu kalau nggak enak, enak sekali.
I was starting to understand that a lot of it boils down to being grateful. And maybe it's so close to Kang Yoyo's heart, because actually, he wasn't always here. He told me that he was a traveling artist for many years, doing art exhibitions all over the world. In Finland, Germany, the Netherlands, Japan, China, Canada, the US, and even Ethiopia, before he finally decided it was time to come home. And after seeing this place for myself, I can understand why.
Selamat pagi, guys. It is 5:30 and I've been awake since 3 o'clock because apparently here they attack. Apparently here they start playing some radio. I don't know if it's a religious radio or what it is. I have been out here with the dogs for a couple of hours. I'm gonna try and see if maybe I can get another hour of sleep. I'll see you guys a bit later. Oh, it's so cozy. Selamat pagi, guys. It is 8:15, and this morning we're on our way to see. Oi, there's the boss.
Ini mau ngantar ke sekolah.
Selamat pagi, Kang.
Selamat pagi. Kalau mau ngeliput sekolah bisa sekalian.
Ya, boleh.
Ya.
Boleh.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I was saying, this morning we're gonna go and see how they create their energy here. And because we cannot take our own car, the roads are too slippery, we have hired a small pickup truck to take us. And the roads are seriously slippery, so hopefully it's safe. We will find out. This is adventure. Nice to start the morning with a bit of adrenaline. That was good.
Before picking up the kids later, I asked Kang Yoyo if we could stop by the local school and see what the school life looks like in these remote mountains. But first, we went to the teacher's office to ask for permission. I still remember when I first started traveling Indonesia and I couldn't speak the language. But now that I can, it feels completely different. I can now do more than just wave and take selfies. I can share my adventure stories from around the archipelago with the kids in their own language. And we then got back into our village limousine.
Dorong yuk. Mantap, gampang.
Ayo, pindah lagi. Oh, hey. Halo.
It's very steep.
But before getting to the dam, Kang Yoyo had a few local pro tips he wanted to share with me.
Jadi ini namanya jonghe
Jonghe.
and good for preventing cancer.
Yeah. Especially like for woman who has kista.
Okay.
But we need the three kind of plant.
Not too bad.
Yep.
But you take it from the side of the road here, yeah?
Yeah, everywhere we can get it.
Okay. And hopefully no dogs have come past here yet. Because it tastes a bit sour.
Do you know? Yesterday we are talking about the brush, toothbrush.
Uh-huh.
We made from the leaf, like this one. This kind of leaf.
You use this one for brushing teeth?
Yeah.
And what is the name of this?
Lamata. After this, I forgot to brush my teeth.
Uh-huh.
The teeth become
Oh, more bright.
so bright because of the yellow.
I think
The green.
from the green.
Yeah.
I think I would still recommend Colgate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I can hold it. So, Kang Yoyo, we have come to one of the places where you make your electricity.
Right.
Maybe you can tell me a little bit about what it is?
Yeah. This powerhouse is built in 1997, and it's supported by Japan government. This capacity should be normally we can get like 50,000 watt. So another two powerhouse also similar capacity like 50,000 watt. Exactly, we still have another one, even bigger.
Oh, okay, but it's not operational at the moment.
Still working. Still working.
Okay. But then let's say you have the capacity to make 200,000 kilowatt. If you transport it from here to Gelar Alam, you will lose some of it.
Right? So we only get like 35,000 watt. Enough for lighting. But if we use like a ceremony, like we need a sound system, so on, it doesn't enough yet.
Okay. And how does the micro hydro work?
You see rivers, and then from like 800 meters up there, we make another line, to bring to this area.
So the river, it spins like this small mill that spins the turbine?
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
So you're actually self-sustainable in terms of you're making your own electricity?
Yeah, it's since 1997 until today with local technician, and we can run until now.
That's amazing. Cool.
It looked like a storm was slowly approaching. So while we were waiting for our ride back, I was about to learn why nobody here needs gyms or Pilates classes.
How heavy this is? Oosh! Wow! When you look at it, it doesn't look like much, but when you pick it up, it's heavy. I have to compare it to dumbbell. Maybe 5 kilo.
Commonly like from 3 kilogram until 7 kilogram.
Ah, okay, could be heavier than 5 actually. Oh.
And in these bundles, looks like 3 kind of rice. Three varieties of rice. If we pound the rice, 2 pounds of the rice like this, it takes like half an hour.
It takes half an hour to pound something like this.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Go. A lot of repetitions in this. I honestly, no bullshit, thinks these ladies are stronger than I am. I might look stronger, but I think they have way more endurance and power than I have. Wow, this one is definitely 5 kilos. You know, one thing that I really love about being out on trips again, it is I get so dirty. I know it sounds weird, but my hands are dirty, my clothes are dirty, I have dirt everywhere, I've scratched my hand, my leg, and yeah, it's so weird, but when you're in the city all the time inside the AC, just in front of the computer, waking up, going to bed, you don't really get hurt or you don't really get dirty or scratched, and I don't know, but it brings me back to nature somehow. I used to go to the forest a lot when I was a kid with my brother and my grandfather, and I think that is what it reminds me of, like being out in the forest, just being in the wild, and yeah, I love it.
Eventually, the storm caught up with us.
The rain is not stopping.
And unfortunately, our village limousine didn't exactly come with a roof. But in a strange way, the rain only made the experience more memorable.
And suddenly the minibus here was full. Oh my God! This day just gets better and better.
There are so many things here that feels very back to basic. Whether it's a local seller coming from afar to sell basic food staples, or a rule set by the ancestors that a firekeeper must always keep a fire burning day and night, just in case someone needs it.
Always keep this fire burning.
And yet, while some Sundanese villages have a strict no electronics policy, Kangyoyo realized that their ancestors' mission of sharing knowledge could actually be strengthened through technology. So he created their own radio and TV station, broadcasting daily so people could learn about their Sundanese traditions. There is, however, one issue that the knowledge of the ancestors can solve. An issue not just affecting Gelar Alam.
This is a general problem that I see in all of the places that I visit. It is that there is no proper structure here in Indonesia yet for trash. Kangyoyo told me that they have tried several times, even with the words from Abba, to tell people about trash, educate them, and yeah, Kangyoyo says it's people, they simply do not care because, yeah, maybe 20, 30 years ago there was no focus on trash. So for the older generations, they simply don't care. They do what's easy, and that is either throw it away or just burn it in front of the house.
I had only spent 4 days and 3 nights in Gelar Alam, but somehow it had felt much longer. Maybe it's the slow pace here that makes it feel like time stands still. I had learned so much, and it's adventures like this that makes coming home feel different, because the experience changes you a little. But with years of traveling across Indonesia still ahead of me, it was time to continue to my next stop in Java.
Okay, Ibu, thank you so much for an amazing stay. Super grateful that you allowed us to stay in your house. You would cook for us, you would show us around, you would tell us stories about your life. It has been something I will never forget, so thank you so much. I appreciate it.
One more. Safe trip, enjoy, and God bless.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So stay tuned, because in the next video, the adventure continues in West Java, as I set out to visit one of Indonesia's most mystical mountains. I will be trying some of the adrenaline-filled adventure activities in Cianjur and discover one of the most unique hidden homestays I have ever come across. The Java adventure is just getting started.